Nerd Soul.
Oh yeah, late ill kid at OneYoungsta, hold it down, read that StreetGeek and Nerd Soul. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Let's go because we got some Nerd Soul gaming news for y'all. Well, it might be news for some, and it might be something that was prophesied by others. Some others might have been the gaming Nostradamus, but we ain't by ourselves, yo. No, no, no. This analysis is not brought to you by me alone. I give to you the traveling man, the distributor of the South, one half of the dynamic duo of the same place, Coop of Blurtish. What's up?
What's up, y'all? Y'all hear this at, of course, www.blerd-ish.com. And of course, since we're talking some gaming news on Blurtish, follow our Twitch at Blurtish. You'll find it. It's just Blurtish. I know it's like a long thing for Twitch, but on Twitch TV, you
You'll
can
find
find
it.
us as well.
All right. So we also have another young brother most likely coming through. We'll probably get open mind to come through. So keep your ears out or your eyes out for him. Well, mostly your ears out. You ain't gonna be seeing him, but you just keep your ear out. So Coop sent me an article from GeekWire. They say analysis. Microsoft layoffs are the latest example of gaming industry labor issues. Now, those issues are something that we've been seeing issues like this around anime, also in gaming, and it looks like it's been rough. It's been
I mean,
tumultuous, if you will.
not only in gaming, anime, but also, this kind of is another extension of the Hollywood strikes, virtual, special effects people, but it's a little bit more pointed with gaming.
Yep. So the article, I won't take y'all all through the whole article, but there are some key parts in here because it's not a super long article, but there are some key parts, and there's been things going on in gaming that we've been seeing lately, like this kind of push. Well, also in movies, but this push towards digital only. We've seen those kind of things going on. We've heard about Walmart and Xbox and stuff like that. So, in this, of course, we're seeing layoffs, and it talks about basically. I'll just go in and push it up. It's 10% of the workforce, which is a huge deal. I'll throw it to you, Coop. What's the big takeaway that you're seeing, or what's the big effect that you're seeing from this, either near or long term?
Well, near term, I hate to admit this, y'all. It's probably if you are the first good thing, and I'm gonna feel dirty to say this, if you are a Microsoft stock owner like myself, you might see the stock rise up. Because if you cut costs, have high revenue, and you're very profitable, stockholders love that. That's what they want. So they don't care about people. People are widgets and gadgets and numbers. So if the main numbers is profit. So I probably can go check the stock market and just look at the price and see if it actually went up. And if it dipped down, it's going to shoot back up. I promise you. Like it ain't gonna be no real negative dip, if it even took a negative dip. So that's number one, because that's what this all boils down to. What as they taught us in accounting and auditing and stuff, I used to do a little bit of that, or training to do some of that. They always tell you get behind the numbers, or when you hear what they say like headwinds or tailwinds, or when people tell you what's coming, and you need to listen to these things. Like I know I joke around a lot when y'all hear from me, but sometimes if you are involved in this industry or different industries and it can affect your life, the best geek news you can ever get, I promise you, is Forbes, is anybody dealing with anything that can tell you about what this company, that if it's publicly traded, follow those reports. Also, I'm gonna give a shout out to Spawn Wave and RTG 85. They might clown a little bit, but for the most part, they don't really. I'm not gonna curse on my things, but they don't fool around.
Yeah, they don't play.
They not like doing all this jokey whatever. They might be like lighthearted with it, especially Sean, but Sean still gets to it. They have been mentioning this for about 2 months ago. And when I first kind of heard it was through Spawn Wave, I've been seeing it. Well, the first thing I heard was last year, probably about say maybe October. The rumors of, hey, Best Buy, Target, and them are going to get rid of physical media. First, it was just DVDs. Nobody
Yeah,
even
it seemed
mentioned
like
games.
yeah.
But then it start ramping up. It start picking up. They're like, guess what, y'all? They're like, we're gonna get rid of kind of games. Like Walmart. In fact, you can go into your local Walmart now. The DVD section is shrinking. Walmart still going to be like the major owner for a while, probably, of access to physical media for DVDs. So that's DVDs. Best Buy have already said the hell with it. Like you probably can order it, but they are not stocking their shelves with
And
it.
Walmart already said that they're not doing Xbox like
Yeah,
physical games anymore. But I will
Xbox. Oh, go. Sorry.
real quick. I want to introduce Open Mind is up in the spot. Open Mind, say what's up.
What's happening? What the deal, NERDSoul
Yo,
family? I know I'm late, y'all, but Nerd just hit me up at the
No,
last
no, you
minute.
good, you good. You know what I'm saying?
yo,
This is something
happy
that
New
dropped
Year
in.
to you, sir. Happy New Year to you, Open Mind.
Happy New Year to you, brother. We both share a bond a fatherly bond that the
Right.
world just will never understand.
Absolutely.
But
Right.
we understand each other.
Woo! He put me through the ring of the day.
Did he?
I, man, look, I'm shocked that I look. It's like, just quick aside, folks. Look, we love our sons, we love our kids, no doubt.
Whenever you start a statement
Because you know we about to say something crazy about our kids. Look, I'm already with him. We gonna let him get his rocks off because F them kids is okay in some of these moments as
but
parents.
we, but when I tell my son, I know you nonverbal. I know that you developmentally delayed, but wherever part of your mind and I love can understand the words coming out my mouth, you better heed them. And you know what you're doing. Let's just say, an explosion has been happening this week. So, oh man, I had to clean him up, get him ready for bed, feed him. Then I went and packed for the business. And then I was like, I'm good to go. Mike hit me up. I was like, we was talking, I said, man, I'm good to go, man. I'm wide awake. I ain't allowed to get no sleep, and I got work in the morning. Then I got an event to do right after work. So we here giving you more than 20 minutes of our hard time. That's I'm sorry, y'all. Look, whoever was complaining about 20 minutes, keep listening. We just messing with you. But you gonna get more than these 20. You gonna enjoy all these.
Yeah, just press pause and come back later, man.
Like, bro, I'm trying not to curse on Mike Page. But anyway, back to this. You better enjoy these doggone minutes, man. For all this work that we do.
We're two fathers of special needs children, so we kind of need Mike's microphone sometimes to just like yell and rah, give out our system because our kids drive us crazy.
That's all jokes. It's all jokes, man.
That's all that is.
I'm serious too. I don't want to hear about. I go on another YouTuber and people like, I ain't got time to talk about donuts. Hit pause, folks. Sorry, that's just been one of them. Look, January has been a hot month with Cat in the spirit of Cat Williams.
And the spirit of Cat. Y'all heard me drop some Cat Williams truth to start the year.
Right.
I'm riding that truth energy because here's what I say about it. We can get back on top. My thing with Cat Williams' energy, because we don't have to go into depth. They didn't beat that dead horse down. I like his truth energy because that's the kind of energy I've been on since I kind of like put myself in this podcast space. I kind of feel like I resonate a lot with his energy. If that makes sense. But I always felt the dismissive energy. I always felt the shun. I've always felt the whatever, I felt the things he would describe that he felt in his little space. I've kind of felt that in this space coming in. But now that he's kind of like in a relevant space, he's kind of like speaking for a lot of people who kind of see themselves as black sheep or see themselves as blackballed. Not that I'm blackballed, but it's just like you kind of feel like you kind of feel I don't intend to be cringy, but I know I can be sometimes. Cat Williams was very cringy, but not to me. I don't cringe. But I understand the cringe because you don't want to hear this, but it's the truth that you probably got to hear or face or deal with. And I love it because he just kind of opened that door for like, everybody ain't gonna like it, of course, but at least he kind of made telling the truth cool now instead of being fake.
I'll just listen to my review on www.blurge.com. I second what this man is saying. Y'all know the history of people who have tried to basically steal my identity in the blurred world and tell you and play it in your face. So, and also shout out to him just giving love for not saying the R word and the R word and explaining his thing on it. Got much respect for that brother. But I guess back to what I was saying, just the follow the money thing, man. And this another joke that it kind of goes to GameStop. I'm gonna pull up, like I'm gonna connect the dots here. GameStop, just from going with physical media, different things. We'll kind of get to GameStop last, and how things matter and how they connect. And when you start to connect it, I was never the best auditor. Like, you know, auditing is not easy because you got to have all the things in between tied down. But when you can start see how one business decision, especially when they tell you, hey, this thing, we getting rid of it. When the big companies, when are the big companies ever that vocal to tell you something that early and that fast, and then they follow through with it? Go into any of, like you said, Walmart, Target, Best Buy already kind of quit. The only games you're going to find are PlayStation and Switch. They done gave up on Xbox, and this flowed right into what happened.
Xbox is done, man.
Xbox, but didn't Xbox already posture up like this in the past, and then didn't do anything and put out the Xbox Series X? Like okay, do y'all? I'm gonna ask this because I'm late to the party anyway, so y'all might have already covered this. Do y'all think Xbox is going the way of Sega, or they just finna just poof and be out of here and just make games?
Yes, and
that's where you think the direction is going. Like it's like Xbox is just throwing in the towel, like Sega threw in the towel.
And I won't even say, see, for Microsoft, this ain't really thrown in the towel. This Sega, you know, we always joke about Sega, but Sega got chopped at the knees, and the market told them you need to get out of consoles. Xbox is controlling the market, saying, "Hey, we're gonna take steps to do this because we're not getting probably the return we want on having to mass produce this, hire people to do this, blah blah blah. We gotta cover costs, you know, overhead for those people. Unfortunately, it's a dirty game, but by getting the biggest cost in mostly anything is salaries and benefits, always." Generally in a budget, those are the reason why those two items are at the top of a budget, you know.
So are you essentially saying that they got too big and failed because they got so big? Is that like what you're alluding to?
Now I'm saying they are shrewd. I'm saying they ain't failed. They are winning in their own capitalistic way.
Like because financially, they making sure that they stay in the black.
Like they didn't get chopped at the knees like Sega had failure to launch. Like the Xbox probably making enough money, but they already like in the future. That's why, you know, are you aware like they've been more buddy with Nintendo over the past couple of years? Like that relationship has been building more and more. Then there's rumors that a lot of Xbox exclusives are, you know, this has been reported. That ties into this. Xbox exclusives will pop up on Nintendo. Probably going to be announced on the next Nintendo Direct. A lot of people are predicting it's going to be Hi-Fi Rush, which I already said if they friends. I said I would have bought Hi-Fi Rush because I don't really play computer games. If it would have dropped on the Switch, they would have got my money because I love what I saw with that game, and I just never got to play it. But the truth of the matter is Nintendo has the largest player base right now because the Switch has been a massive success. So Microsoft is already thinking like Sega, like, hey, we can make good games if we put our mind to it. We got studios. We're buying studios. What is laggy behind? So you know what? We got Game Pass. We're not giving up on Game Pass. Nah. So unless Game Pass fails some type of way,
so how does Xbox then? Okay, because I read the article just now, at least the article that Nerd sent me, and it's like they laid off 10% of their staff and all. It seems that there's possibility that they're not going to make a future console. So my question is, what is the future of Xbox going to look like? Let's say, okay, it's 2024 right now. Let's go to the year 2028.
Okay.
2028. By then, we're either at PlayStation 6 or we're getting a trailer for PlayStation 6. I would say the year 2028, January, like somewhere in that month, we either have PlayStation 6 or we're getting a trailer announcement for a PlayStation 6 in that year. What does
Think that
Xbox look
early?
like?
I'm gonna make
I
a.
would say
Go
early.
ahead.
No, the PlayStation 5 is 3 years old now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, don't I, I at
No,
least in my
listen.
opinion, I would think that Sony would want to try to push the 5 out a little bit
Well,
further. But you
No,
might be right.
listen.
let me.
Listen. You just time has just been going by so fast. The PlayStation 5 came out in 20. Actually, the PlayStation 5 is 4 years old now. The
Well,
PlayStation
Yeah.
5 came out in 2020,
let
and
me.
all the consoles. Hold on, I'm passing the
Oh,
mic in one second.
sorry. My
I'm
bad.
passing the mic in 1 second. The PlayStation 5 came out in 2020 during COVID year. It's 2024 right now. Just 4 years old already. And each console has like an 8 to 9 year span before the next console comes out. That's why I said 4 more years, the PlayStation 5 will be 8 years old. Just like the PlayStation 4 is like 8 years old right now. So it's kind of like this. So I'm saying either we're going to have it, because think about it, 2028, things don't have to follow the same cycles just because they're in the cycle. Technology advances. It's possible for somebody to invent a better product earlier than normal. So we have PS5 right now. It's not that they have a PlayStation 6 prototype already. It's just not meeting standard. It's not meeting whatever standards. But don't think that they won't have a PlayStation 6, even if it's not for sale. At least a prototype where somebody can play it on it and demo by 2028. So I'm thinking.
Because I'm thinking Sony would want to milk it a little bit further.
And I only said all that. I'm about to pass the mic. Just given that whole scenario, what does Xbox look like? Just so I can have a better understanding of what's really going on.
I got an
with Xbox.
easy answer for that. And we're gonna put on our evil capitalistic hats real quick, because that's where it goes. Basically, let's just say a range from 2028. Let's just say even 2030, because I think because of the cycles of things are getting longer, development teams are being pushed to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume PlayStation. I would assume they could do it exactly that, but they probably just gonna wait till they milk everything out of it, and they're gonna start doing what they did for the 4 and 5, like probably develop for the 5 and 6. So
I think they should do that. I think they should do that just because of the fact that there was like for the first 2 years of the PS5, nobody could get one.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to do that. They're gonna have to keep those split cycles, and a lot of games just haven't been made for it. What Xbox is going to do, Microsoft is basically going to say nothing right now, because they don't have to say nothing, because they basically going to kind of, I should say, challenge you to use your mind, because they specifically cut people in the hardware section first, and it was a lot of people because that's more hands-on. So they're telling you everything. There's no Xbox in the big realtors, maybe in some small ones or some mom and pop stores. But basically, the whales have already got out of the Xbox game. Now, that's a clear indication of what they know what's going on, and Xbox probably told them what's up, or if they don't. Whales as the people who. As they say in stocks, who really dictate the market.
The sharks, but you call them whales.
Well, whales because, the whales is a term because when they make a splash, it moves the ocean. You know what I'm saying?
That's why.
Kind of like in gambling or something like that.
Yeah. So when Wal-Mart, Target, and Best Buy move, everybody else got to move with it, or they gonna get splashed. So that's how whales, the concept of whales work. So the whales are already out. So, the smaller, don't even worry about the mom and pop stores, whatever. So, whales are out.
Oh, you mean GameStop ain't going to save
it? We'll get to GameStop later. But
we know remember what happened with GameStop when they stopped.
I got a prediction for GameStop. But basically with them out, Xbox is already laying off its workforce. And then there's always more talk that's saying that that they already have the platform to make the games and make it digital, so you save money already on making the physical things. You have people already introduced to this platform. You ain't got to deal with Walmart, this and that, or stock a certain supply. So you don't already change the what you call it, the the logistics change.
The landscape.
Yeah, the landscape, the logistics have already changed on the fly, and you're winning by saving more money. That's of course the capitalistic game. So what they're gonna say is nothing until they get a maybe they already like, all right, we got this stock left, we're gonna produce X amount of stock, and basically they're gonna let us, the consumers, buy this Xbox, knowing damn well they ain't making it no more, and they're gonna get their money and their liquidity back. Watch what they do. Watch how they don't say nothing for about 2 more years.
I can see Microsoft saying, "Hey, after when PlayStation announced their stuff, and people be like, "Hey, Microsoft, what you gonna do?" And they'll be like, "What we're gonna do is keep creating for Game Pass. We're essentially a PC company now."
Yes, they're gonna Guess what they're gonna do? This is what they're gonna do. They're gonna say nothing until you hit it right on the nail, I think, Mike. Until PlayStation say something. They already building their relationship with Nintendo. There will no longer be like true Xbox exclusives, or it'll be a window and then it'll slide to like the Nintendo. It'll be able to be developed for the Switch too. And
so is Xbox and PlayStation still beefing like Bloods and Crips?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, they trying to kill each other, basically. I mean,
it's and fight all the time.
And here's the thing: Microsoft as a whole, as a company, probably blow Sony out the water. But as it greed and Microsoft has always been about subscriptions. They want.
I don't know about that, bro. I don't know if Microsoft could blow Sony out the water. Sony owns more than just PlayStation.
Well, I'm saying
a lot of stuff.
Well, I'm saying, far as like market value of company, Microsoft is that company. Like they're one of the top 3 richest companies. They always they kind of had the title for like largest market cap this past, like they held it good for like 2023. So yeah, they market price, their stock has been going up. So just on paper financial value, Microsoft don't have to truly compete with Sony. They all have so many things. Microsoft is just about their subscriptions and building cash flow, reducing debt and costs. Now, they're shrewd about it, and a lot of people suffered about it, So
I guess so I'm thinking this is going to lead to a lot of indie companies making games.
Physical games,
maybe not physical, digital, not console.
Yeah, just digital games.
Yeah, digital.
And I say that because if you're about to, in a sense, and this is just me speaking from outside looking in. If in a sense you're about to shut down your Xbox division and as a Microsoft as a company,
or the hardware,
a lot of those people are gonna go look for work, and they're gonna take those skills and say, okay, well, Xbox laid me off. I need a job. I got this skill. They're gonna get together. If they don't get together, they're gonna get with somebody and be a part of the creation of just a game.
Yep.
Just a game that y'all can spend $40, $50 for, and so on and so forth. Because if all we're left with is Nintendo, PlayStation, and PC, right? Then
that's pretty much it.
PlayStation ain't going nowhere. PC ain't never went nowhere, and probably gonna always be there. Nintendo's gonna always be there.
Yeah, PC may have just gotten better because now PCs can really kind of move in ways that they couldn't before.
And
PCs were the first gaming console.
No, but I mean, as far as like there was a time when consoles was kind of making PCs look bad. Yeah. But now
there was
as far as the cost of PCs, now you can get a decent PC that can run something, or at least the basic version of the game, and you don't have to go all out and get the PS5 or something.
Yeah, you ain't got to get Alienware.
And I'll be honest, for somebody like me, look, I love I'm a 42-year-old console loving guy. It looks beautiful. I love to hug it. I hug my Super Nintendo box. You know, I have a Super Nintendo Mini. I don't even play it. I just look at it and I smile because I know the memories it brings to me. Blah blah
Mhm.
blah. But even I had to look. And another thing, far off thing. I'm not a good PC gamer. Like I still haven't listened to Mike and bought my Xbox controller. I really am. I'm eventually going to have no choice to probably become a PC gamer. But they also the PC handheld market is getting better with all these things, and it's getting
True.
maybe
Yeah.
Yeah,
easier.
with the Steam Deck, yeah.
You know, so it's like now the Steam Deck. I never would have thought about getting just an Xbox console. But okay, it's like okay, Steam, PC, Steam is now like Xbox now equals Windows, of course, and Steam. Well, Steam, I have tried out Steam, just a couple times. It's cool. Like I like it. I know. I know revelation for me, but I know everybody who's used to it is like, okay, I can get used to how this works. So
Yo,
it's not
man,
that
look,
far
this
off
is
the
the
realm.
first time for everybody on Steam. Like the first time I got on Steam, I was like, okay, I think I can rock with this.
I got it to work a little bit. Me and Mike played Ninja Turtles. I bought it 2 times, just bought it. I was like, I'm gonna buy it twice just so I can play with them. And we did it. I got it to work. I had to do some weird stuff, but it worked. It worked. So, and that was with a no-name controller. So basically, it's just that all these things matter. They tie in, but I strongly believe, like what you said, open mind. Is like, yeah, you know what? The skills. I think people with the skills, it will coalesce into other new companies. That's how we got things in the comic book. People got laid off or they jumped out of the market before they got laid off. People going to probably take this innovation, hopefully, if there's more funding. But you really only going to have Nintendo, Steam, PC/Windows, Game Pass. Like that's just it.
So
Like,
so then let's say it. Let me say it right here on Nerd Soul's mic and put it into the ethers, right? Because if words are powerful, let's cast this spell now. I'm gonna cast a spell. Let's go. Let's go. Not a demonic spell, but a positive spell. So listen, check me out. What did you say? Say it again for me, bro. The last thing about the last three consoles. What's gonna be? What we left with?
we left with
In the event that because Xbox is not as we speak, but at some point, probably before 2026, there probably ain't gonna be no Xbox no more. Right? Do we agree or?
I'll say absolutely by 2030, there will
Okay.
not be a new Xbox released after this. And
Okay.
then
So, and we gonna have Nintendo,
we have
PlayStation, and
Nintendo,
PC
PlayStation, PC slash
as
Steam
as far
slash
as
Windows.
consoles.
Yeah, as
So
far
that
as
means it's
consoles.
time for a black owned company to create a video game console
You know what? I ain't mad at that.
and rival who's left, because if you already get, if Xbox is out the way, let's go back in time for a minute. There was a time, and all three of us are old enough. I feel sorry, guys, but I'm finna tell everybody how old all three of us is. There was a time where we had Nintendo 64, Sega Saturn, TurboGrafx 16, Jaguar,
Yep.
Neo Geo,
3DO.
3DO, Game Gear, PlayStation 1, Xbox One, it was Sega Saturn, right? There was a time where there was like 8 or 9 different consoles. Oh, Atari, of course, forgot about Atari.
Well, yeah, that counts as Jaguar,
But
right?
I'm talking about. I said that. I said Jaguar. I showed it. There was a time where there were at least 8 or 9 different consoles on the market, all competing with each other. Games being made on exclusive consoles. Then you had certain games that was only on 3 of those consoles, so on and so forth. There was a time where we had a market. We had a what we call a capitalistic situation where there was actually real competition. Maybe the games weren't that good, weren't the best, but they existed.
Well,
Now
I mean,
we're down
can we get Soldier Boy on the line?
Now we're
man,
down
come on,
to
bro.
Soldier Boy was just all he had was an emulator. Come on now. Anyway, at the end of the day, we're here now, and we're left with 3, 4 for the moment, but we're gonna be left with 3. So let's put it into the atmosphere. Some black-owned digital company, whatever you are, I might not be saying it right, but put it into the atmosphere so if it applies to you, grab at it. Don't make a game, make a console. Make a gaming console. And let it rival now I don't know how much that would cost. I don't know logistics. Of course, I don't know all these things. This is all I'm saying is I'm putting something in the atmosphere that doesn't exist, that can possibly exist provided the right minds and people and investors get behind the idea and make it work. Create a video game console that rivals PC, PlayStation, and Nintendo.
Basically,
go ahead, pass the mic.
Oh, I was gonna say what you basically saying is that I think most companies would make a Steam Deck type of thing. I think it would be like more and more of that competition, the handheld that can do multiple things. I think that market is growing because there's so many, foreign companies, different things, and people who make PCs. Like I think the format is going to be PC/Steam, but yes, it is room for in the PC handheld, market/console that you can do something that can run that, because I would say it would be hard to kind of get around the logistics of things, because once I'm gonna use this term again, once the whales get out of something, they ain't getting back into it right away. So you could be a specialty company, maybe you could be in, say, I ain't gonna say Gamestop, but let's say a high-end computer store, or you could be a direct mail market or different things, or you can maybe sell to, like, I don't know, what's a lower, more well-known, lower, not a big
they can be
store.
they can be on the shelves at EB Games.
Oh, good lord.
I don't know what happened in that kick though.
It's all good. It's all good.
But
Well, you know what? I did pitch that idea to you one time, Coop. Like, someone could come out and like make essentially what people are doing online with these sort of like these mini PCs. So like, say they could come out with something that's got like the strength of a Steam Deck or something like that, but maybe not a PS5, but then at a price point where like the average person can like play some games, but maybe not, they might not be able to play like the hottest, newest, freshest, or maybe not play on the most all-out graphic version of it.
Mike, I got breaking news. I got some breaking news as we speak right now, and I need to say this on this show.
Oh, what's up?
Jesse Wright just inboxed me and said playtest for coreupt tomorrow.
Hold up, what?
Breaking news in my inbox on Twitter X. Jesse Wright just said to me, playtest will go next. No, not tomorrow. Playtest will go next month. I said tomorrow. I don't know why I said tomorrow. Playtest will go next month.
Yo, that's what I'm talking about. Shouts to Coreupt. Shouts for them indie games.
Okay, see, right when we talking, here you go. Like,
yo, man, look.
I'm not a fighter, but I know y'all heard y'all talk about it. I'm not a.
It's a brother. You know what I'm saying? It's a brother. I'm gonna get you a copy. Don't worry. It's a brother. What? We still gonna support.
Look, man. Look, I ain't gonna say that crazy. I was about to say that cat who I was trying to support, he dipped on me. But I was like, oh, he ain't heard that from him.
Now I will. I did want to touch on this because something that stood out to me is because when you put everything together in this particular article, it doesn't look good. It kind of looks like the anime market that we were talking about. But when you go to the part of the article when it talks about the layoffs in general, and it says that, not only Xbox or Microsoft, I guess, it said the major cuts include, Twitch, Discord, Riot Games, Behavior Interactive, Thunderful, and Unity. So it's like,
basically,
these are, so when you add in, so like kind of like when you add in these layoffs, when you add in the physical media is leaving, when you add in all of these things going on, it's like, bruh, is the industry strong enough? And shoot, is the financial system of the current player base strong enough to hold it up?
I'm gonna say
You know,
this, and so in fact, I'm gonna take some of the things you said, Mike. Like, oh, hello, you there?
oh, he's back.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
cool,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was inboxing Jesse and they were kicking me off, but he was like, "Make sure you mention the playtest."
Shout out to Jesse.
So we mentioned it, Jesse. The playtest is next month for playtest. I said playtest. He said playtest. Let's call it what it is. Beta.
It's a beta.
The beta will be out next month for Coreupt.
So the beta is coming out for Coreupt. Everybody get ready to get mad because
So
I'm
what that
putting the
means? So
sticks
a beta
back
means
into play.
Sometime. Listen, if we're getting a beta next month, then we getting the release sometime after the beta.
Y'all about to get
Later
y'all
on in the
feelings
year
hurt
somewhere.
because
That's just
I'm
how it
about
goes.
to.
Like if you think about it, every beta you played, the game came out like 6 months after the beta. So we getting Coreupt this year, bro. Like
Yo, Coreupt is coming, and y'all about to get y'all feelings hurt because I ain't playing.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first.
Since
right
we
here on
dropping,
NERDSoul.
since we try dropping this, tell Mr. Jesse if he wants to come on Blurtish and discuss it and talk about it. Feel free.
Well,
Jesse, make sure you come through to
hear
all the outlets, all the black media outlets. We here, man. We here to support you. Come through.
Listen, you heard it here first. You're getting a beta for Coreupt next month, and you heard it right here on NERDSoul's channel first. Before
NERDSoul.
Before anybody.
Yep. You also heard from NERDSoul that I don't want to hear y'all crying about somebody that need to get nerfed. Just take your L and go on to the next person because I'm not playing.
Because they crying about Tekken 8 already. What I tell you, they don't care about that hair. They don't care about Eddie's Killmonger hair. They crying about the games mechanics. That's what they're crying about. They crying about Reyna. They crying about Devil Jin. They crying about Asuzina. They own the intranet, on the infonet, crying, talk about nerf.
Did the game just come out?
I sent you the inbox.
Yeah, I saw.
Did that game just come out? Like
the game is what?
Day one, they crying.
Day one, they crying.
I sent Nerd an inbox of a thread. I didn't comment on the thread. I just saw it and I took a screenshot and I sent it to them. And they day one, dude made a whole video rant trying about.
I ask y'all gentlemen this because we all of a certain age, because like I said, I don't really deal with that to that level. I'm kind of a solo gamer. I want to play more multiple player stuff, but I just kind of get into my own vibe of like weird indie games, as Mike know, and I just like will do whatever. Do you think these are mostly young cats? Like I know we're gonna get back on the topic at hand because I got a Gamestop prediction that I'm gonna see what y'all think. But do you think these cats never I feel like they don't understand arcade culture. Like is this like a younger generation thing? And I'm not like I promise you, I don't like to kick down Gen Z because people kick down us. I'm an old millennial.
This is a whole bunch of dudes that.
Or it's the wannabe pros that just like I ain't good at it instantly. I gotta get good. Like, instead of get good, they rather complain about it.
I think it's a good mix. We got some older dudes that are stuck in high school mentally.
Oh, okay.
We got some young guys that think that there's nothing more important than the video game itself.
Right.
And then you have tryhards of every age. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean that you shouldn't try hard. You are supposed to try hard. What I mean by tryhards is these people that feel that if you're not turning the game on to become a pro player at Evo next year, then you shouldn't turn it on at all.
See, this is why I never got really back into fighters, but at the same time, I will absolutely curse you out if you come in my inbox and talk about what I do. Like, boy, I paid my $50, $60, $70. You want to pay something?
But you know what?
I'll be a scrub and be happy.
You know what? Though, but listen, Blurt, listen though. I'm in the fighting community, and you done checked out some of the conversations me and Nerd had about my experiences. Listen.
Yep.
Listen, these You can say that what you said. You can give them that Uncle lecture. They're degenerates, man. They're degenerates. Okay, it doesn't matter what you say. You beat them or you didn't beat them, but the fight ended up to like the last person got the last hit, so both of y'all health was low and they got the last hit and won. So they just coming off that stress of that fight. You know what I'm saying? Let's do some more Cat Williams truth energy before we end the show. Here's the truth: why people inbox you after a fight, win or lose, whether they won or lost, you get the inbox because of the stress of the fight. What they want to steamroll you when they fight you. They're tryhards, like Nerd just called them. They're tryhards. And oftentimes, the tryhards try real hard and still lose. So instead of taking a loss, they want to downplay your win. Not that you were gloating. You were probably in the lobby again looking for another fight. And you just get this notification on your screen that says a bunch of gibberish. And you're like, what is this? And you go check your inbox and and it's just, it's just word vomit in your inbox. And you're like, what is this? And it's
I'm gonna say this.
So the truth is, it's not you what you did. You can tell them about how you pay your bill. You can tell them about how I bought this game too and I can play how I want to. They're not gonna see the logic because they just took that L. They're a tryhard.
The only time I remember this vividly in my head. This is like I'm a big Overwatch guy. I put it down, I come back to it. That's the only kind of say toxic my brush with toxic stuff. I tried rank, like I really don't give a damn care if I make rank or whatever, but I was like, all right. I was like feeling myself like let me see my skills in it.
See how far I can climb.
And here's the thing with Overwatch. Have you ever played Overwatch, Open Mind?
I've touched it, but I ain't been into it. So I'm aware of it.
As you know, that is a team sport. And basically when you lose, everybody is the reason you lost, in my mind. Now maybe
it's a team game, y'all. Win together, y'all lose together.
Any team game, no.
And
that's
it's
Call
a team,
of Duty, that's anything.
And even more than Call of Duty, like a Call of Duty, they really emphasize your kill win streak. Overwatch, it ain't about a kill win streak. Can you make that heroic play? And that's one reason why I gravitated to Overwatch, because you couldn't buy a gun, you couldn't buy an extra skill. You had to work your skills for whatever character you have, like a fighting game. You don't get no extra advantages. You have to learn to play with who you play with and how you do. If you play support, if you're good at DPS, or if you're a good tank. Oh boy, hit me up, and it's like blah 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 blah. And I'm like, bruh, we all lost, fool. Like we all got rolled. Okay, that's one thing. Shout out to Nappy Beer if you listening. I met him through Twitch, and when Overwatch came back, and he was new to Overwatch, I was like, hey, bro, it's fun. Blah blah. We had the greatest time getting rolled sometimes, and then sometimes we do the rolling. Now, for some reason, when me and him play together, they put us in the hardest queue. I don't know if it's like because I had more history, but I think I can be a very good support. So it's like I'm not always the best DPS with everybody. Sometimes I'm a goof off. I'm like, hey, I'll just give them some pointers. We have fun. I watch Nappy Beard stream all the time. He is energetic, out there, crazy New York brother. And that's what it's like. That game, let's meet somebody like that and other folks. Bring me back to the joy of the arcade where you can meet a stranger, you put your quarter up, and you just have fun and you go at it and you lose, and that's fine. Like, y'all, I'm an open-minded, bleeding heart liberal if you want, and I just want to put that out there to some degree. But I kid you not, you people crying on a game. On a game. On a game. I need you to calm down. I need you to chill. For real. Like, for real, man. Like, this week, my mom been in a car wreck. My wife been in a car wreck. My son. Thank God I didn't have 3, deaths on my hand. And if you could, look, if I'm a scrub, I'm a scrub. But guess what? They had scrubs in the NBA. I love the NBA. One scrub can hit a 3-pointer and win the game.
I want to add to y'all. I want to add.
Look at what happened with Jeremy Lin. Yeah, I said it.
Oh yeah,
I want to add to your rant, Blurred. Listen, I want to add to that rant and say this. Let's normalize disconnecting.
Absolutely.
And stop calling it rage quitting. because that's not necessarily what's happening. When a fight disconnects or the game disconnects, the match disconnects. Are you playing Call of Duty? Are you playing a fighting game? Are you playing a party game where you Smite, Overwatch, anything you're playing where y'all all connected, and then the game suddenly disconnects, and you go back to lobby or you go back to main title screen, whatever that looks like for you. Stop calling that a rage quit. Stop that. But he rage quit right at the moment I was about to win. How do you know that that's what happened? How do you know that the door didn't ring, the phone didn't ring, the dog didn't bark? If you have kids, the kid didn't hurt themselves. My children fight all day long. Right? They fight, not physical, but they fight amongst themselves. They're brothers and sisters. They argue and yell and they scream and they stomp because we have upstairs and downstairs. And our room's downstairs. I'm the man of the house. Of course, I want to be downstairs to catch any crooks that come in. The kids are upstairs safe. That's just how we have it. But they make a lot of damn noise. You know, the stomping and bumping and tumbling and all of the noises that children make, teenagers make. And if I'm playing a game and I have to turn into father mode mid-fight, mid-combo, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to honor your combo or honor your game because you just sitting on your couch playing your game or wherever you're playing it at, and you feel that I should sit here and do this and ignore whatever's happening around me. Right. I don't owe you an explanation for what's happening around me. So if you clip it, open mind, you rage quit. Okay, but you don't know what happened on my end. But you do it all the time. You don't know what happened on my end. You don't know how busy I am. You don't know what I do for a living. You don't know enough about a person who you're facing on your console, on your PC, on your Steam Deck to determine that it was definitively them rage, mad, and upset, so they therefore turned the game off. That is not always the case. But that is the narrative that y'all frame because the match didn't complete or finish and to your standard. What I would like people to start doing in the gaming world is to implement reality in the gaming world. Like, for example, you're a human being. You're not a robot. Don't you use the toilet? Don't you eat? Right? Don't you have humanly functions? Don't you go to the restroom? Don't you have to get up and answer your door when someone knocks at your door? When someone calls or texts your phone? When you're playing, everybody has a phone. Everybody has a home because they're online playing a video game. So even if you don't own the home, you're in a room in said home, connected to the Wi-Fi or to the internet, and you're playing. Right. There's something that's gonna disturb you or distract you in that moment.
I'll quickly add to what you said while you add to me. I'll take y'all behind the curtain. When me and Mark was doing the American Review podcast, Mark was doing it on his phone. We do Spotify. Spotify is weird, but hey, it's free. We might be changing that. StreamYard, holler at me. I've been hollering at people. Shout out to Giff. He's gonna teach me about StreamYard, SteamYard, or StreamYard, whatever you say it. But his phone, he got calls coming in, so I'm not gonna, flip out on Mark. But the call was still going, and he was able to dip back in. Now we edited, so you don't know where me and Mark dipped out, because I like Mark, hey, you there? So we time it. I do a quick countdown. If the time is still going, we got counts so we can edit. So that's the secret behind some things. So, but as you playing online, people listen to this man here. Give people grace, y'all.
Listen,
just like I was.
There's more to that. There's more to that.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Those were just scenarios that's real life. Now let's get into unintentional disconnect, where I disconnected this fight or this thing intentionally, and there is no phone ringing, and I don't have to go to the restroom, and I am still sitting on the couch and going to another match. That's still another reason. Maybe your connection is bad. And since, like Blur just said earlier, I pay my internet bill every month, and I don't pay to play on trash internet. I pay for high-speed internet. So everything I do on my internet that I pay for every month should be high speed because everything I do is high speed. When I run into things that are laggy, I avoid those things because, hey, I'm paying for high speed. And I don't have time for anything that's not as high as the speed as that I pay for every month. And most of my fights, not all of them, are smooth. So when I get a laggy fight, I don't owe that laggy person my time because I'm paying for fast internet. Whether I try to win the fight and don't win because of laggy, or I disconnect before the fight even starts, your internet connection is bad. And I don't have time to inbox you and tell you that. I'm not going to inbox you and tell you that. You're not going to get an explanation. The explanation is the disconnect. The screen says this player has disconnected on your end. You get the little message that says this person disconnected. There's no need to clip it and post it and make a video about it. I'm telling you I'm going to do it if your connection's bad. But there's also other factors for disconnecting. So let's just change our lingo up going into 2024 and beyond. When a match or a game suddenly and abruptly disconnects, that's not necessarily someone mad and upset and angry. Things happen, weather's bad, connections drop. This is the internet. We're talking about a satellite in space here that's giving us the internet. The internet is the internet because of the satellite in space. You don't know what's going on in space. A damn meteor could have passed by the doggone satellite briefly gave everybody some lag, even those who are wired in. You don't know what debris is flying around our satellites that cause us to lag a little bit. Lag can happen for any reason. Disconnects can happen for any reason. So let's stop lashing out because we're such tryhards and we want to be Evo champs that we got to cuss at people and create enemies. Like the guy came, we still never heard from the guy, but he's so mad at me on DNF Duel. He wanted to come on NERDSoul's mic and trash me and defame me and this whatever because of the game, because I beat him on the game. Like Blurtis was saying, and I'm passing the mic. Y'all need to calm down.
Yes. Calm down. Look,
need to calm down.
Excellent rant side topic. All you people, quit coming for people, relax. And actually listen to something. All you gamers, see what we were originally talking about? People who make the games have lost their damn job. And I'm explaining, and we're tying it all in.
Yeah, 1,900 people, man.
And I'm gonna say
this whole podcast about people losing their job.
Let me add more to this, and I know we probably going a little bit long, but I'm gonna add this. GameStop, it's reckoning time, y'all. This is my prediction, and I'm not happy about this. I'm not gloating. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, but me and Mike know. I'm sure you know, Open Mind. But when you get into like a little bit of financial stuff, it's been all smoke and mirrors with them. So I'm gonna ask you, gentlemen. Where do you think, now that the whales, I love saying that they have gotten out of Xbox first off, and then physical media is coming. So basically, probably by 2020, let's just say you might get one more iteration of the PlayStation with physical media. Nintendo seems to not want to do it, but Nintendo's Nintendo. They're gonna be sold somewhere. You know, today you ain't got to worry about Nintendo. I promise you. You know, and when Nintendo get away from cartridges or CDs, it is over. There will be no more. It will be done. Far as
that's crazy. They still are doing cartridges. To be honest, Nintendo's still doing cartridges. They may be miniature cartridges, but they're still like Nintendo is that old granddad. Is the old granddad that still like he don't want to use the lawnmower that you drive around in. He want to keep cranking that joint up and pushing that joint because it still works.
Nintendo is the old man.
Ain't nothing wrong with this.
He is the old man who have all the technology, got all the robots in his house, and he gonna still pull out a notebook and write notes because he can. Because he can, and he thinks it's still cool. He's like, I got all this, but
it's still unnecessary. It's like if you think about it, Nintendo has never. Well, I don't say never because they did it with the GameCube. But they did it just one time with the GameCube. They went back to cartridges. Nintendo is the only console, even including PC, that still uses cartridges.
Yeah, because I think it was just. Did they do it with the Wii? We had this, right? Or no? Yeah, we had this.
No, we didn't have this. You show right. It did have disc.
So it's just
So,
the
So it
GameCube
was
and the Wii, right?
GameCube, Wii,
yeah.
and then they went
Then
back
they
to
went
cartridge.
back and they made it bigger, but it's like made the like they improved the technology for the cartridge, and it's become easier. They made it easier for the developers to want to deal with it, and it's not that expensive anymore to deal with the cartridge.
Oh,
for them.
it's like 3 or 4 times cheaper to put it in a cartridge than a CD.
So they have come around full circle where cartridges were expensive, and now that they're so small, and if you can make a microchip and improve the memory of it, it's actually cheaper. So again,
that's how old we are, bro. We so old that that's our 8-track. Nintendo's are our 8-track.
But
like,
the 8-tracks are the thing of now and the future.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said that's how we're old now, because now our 8-track is a Nintendo cartridge. Because remember when you was a kid, your granddad still had an 8-track. Like let me put on some Al Green.
My
dad, the Al Green 8-track.
He had broken 8-tracks. I never listened to one, but so I think I want to say I wouldn't be shocked in 5 years if you hear a massive layoff for GameStop. I'm gonna say it's 2024. I don't think GameStop exists in 10 years. Cause why?
Yeah, Funko Land gone. Electronic Boutique is gone.
Mm-hmm. They ate them all. Yeah. They ate the competition, and now the formats of what they say, like what they say in financial world. What moat do you have? GameStop never had a moat. The people who are already beating the pants off of them is not selling it the same thing anymore. They might get a temporary boost. However, if they're not, nobody's producing DVDs and less companies are producing the actual used thing. Like eventually there will be a time when we run out of some used stuff, and unless they adapt to become a retro game, retro store, which that is even having a bubble. That's a whole nother topic with the retro collectors who might be ruining that, or they don't know they arguing with it. What do y'all think happens to GameStop within 10 years?
I'll pass that one to Mike. You can have that one, bro.
Man,
this is dire. This is dire.
Look, I no comment.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'll say this. I'll in my since we kind of all agree. We agree without saying anything.
That's why I'm passing the mic. I didn't have a comment.
The arrow. I'll just say this, y'all. If you work at GameStop, the arrow ain't pointing up, y'all.
Man, let me go down.
Let me sum it all up again. And if I'm wrong or if it sounds crazy, all the big reels, the competition for them is getting out of what they specialize in. They never were able to outsell the people who was kicking their butt. The people who's kicking their butt are getting out of the physical media that turns their butter, that puts the grease in their motor.
You know what? I'm gonna give GameStop some love real quick. Since everyone is getting out of the physical game, GameStop could exist as like a boutique kind of like small. I mean, it's not going to be as big as it used to be, but maybe they can survive as like a sort of like a boutique kind of thing. Maybe
they can probably go the route.
But let me ask both of y'all a question. Is physical games is it good or bad to switch from physical to digital? Like, what's wrong with it or right with it? Like, educate me, because I'm asking I'm not asking the devil's advocate question. I'm really want to know.
Me personally, looking at it in a holistic way, I guess in a capitalistic way and just as a personal way, I like to have the option to be able to say, okay, I bought some terrible indie games, right? Past year. Yeah. Terrible. I wish I could sell them. I can't sell them. So I cannot, something that could be considered an asset or was liquid at one time, even the smallest liquidity for it, no longer exists. That is not good in a capitalistic society. When you buy something and you cannot resell it, that is terrible. That's buying. You're basically, you can't even create an asset, the possibility of it becoming an asset. So, on the flip side, though, I know I'm not trying to sound like the company man, but it does make things more efficient. Like, I have become mostly a digital guy, and you don't have to go out to stores. You don't have to do this. There's no running out of a said product. Now the bad thing is you don't ever really own that game. Now, like again, you can't sell it. You can't get a return on it. You can't. If I don't know why they don't do demos. Shout out to Ubisoft for making a demo of Prince of Persia. That was cool. That's good. We should all have demos of games, even if the smallest, even if it's one level. So I need companies. If you're gonna go digital, I need you to bring back customer service, do demos, have some type of test system, so I can buy your game. And also, can the game prices go down? Game prices ain't going down with digital. They still going up. So I'm gonna say it's not good right now, but it will become the new normal, and we're gonna have no choice.
Well, the reason I asked that is because I'm digital too, and I found that I don't necessarily need an external hard drive. The cloud is my hard drive, because it's like this. You're right about not owning the game, but you do have access to it as long as you log in under the account that you created. So even if you buy a new system, everything you've ever purchased is in the cloud, and everything that can fit in the hard drive on your console or your PC, you can download it. What you can't fit still sits in the cloud. It's available to you provided you have space. Now, they did that to make you go out there and buy an external hard drive, but I found a way to get around it. Any games, I'm only one person. It's only 24 hours in the day. I got a job, wife, kids, and then other things you do on the side. Plus, we're podcasting right now, so I'm a busy person. So I don't have time to play 50 games. So why is 50 games sitting in the hard drive space, like where I can go to them? Let them all sit in the cloud. Let me put the games that I'm gonna play immediately. I want instant access to it. I don't want to wait for it to download. I want to wait for it to load. I want to click on it and loads right up and I play. If that's the game that I play the most, that's the game that's going to be on the forefront of my console or my PC. Whatever I'm not playing goes to the cloud. That's infinite space.
Well,
so when I want to play that game again, if I do, let's say I bought God of War Ragnarok and I want to play it 5 years from now, right? Because let's say that if it's in the cloud, I want to run through God of War real quick. I just feel like running through it because I've done that with God of War trilogy, and I'm just saying, I didn't have enough space, so I deleted a few games, sent them to the cloud to make space for God of War. Downloaded it, ran through it, put some videos up on my YouTube, deleted it, and sent it back to the cloud.
You are saying a great perfect scenario.
And that's just how I've been living, though. I've been living like that for the last 3 or 4 years lately. I'm just like, you know what? I don't have no use for this external hard drive.
Let me add another scenario to your scenario. You do that. Let's just say, because it is actually some Sony. I'm glad you mentioned a Sony exclusive game. Sony has just, even though you can put it in the cloud and you have space, they can, let's just say, for whatever reason, the person who been, let's say, the lead programmer for Ragnarok, or maybe the lead guitarist or lead person created some music for that game. They sue them or something like, Sony, you ain't come out, you ain't pay me money, blah, 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 I hate you, yada, yada. All right, Sony, you know what? We done made enough money on this. We ain't paying you jack squat, buddy. Screw you and your millions that we may owe you. Guess what, gamers? We're canceling this game. Because we can do that. Even if you already bought it, you can no longer download it. You can no longer play it because we ain't owing this joker nothing. That happens. We're never going to get
say another. To some digital movies for Amazon too.
But here's the thing with that. I understand what you're saying, but here's the combat to that, and this is just reality and not my opinion. In the sense of having a physical copy of a game, and I'll use my real life scenario right now, not a hypothetical. My brother who just passed away a year ago, not just passed. What I could salvage out of his home was a lot of his games. I have his PlayStation 4 Pro, and I collected a lot of his little cartridges, these little games that were just in cases. I dug in his closet and just got all that stuff out that I can carry back to Houston, just to kind of remember my brother. He has a lot of PlayStation 3 games in the case with the booklet and all that stuff. I'm not gonna play these games. I don't have a PlayStation 3. He didn't even have a PlayStation 3. He has a PS4, but he just has these games. Now, I can't sell them to anybody that wants them because it's PlayStation 3. They're outdated. And even if you had a PlayStation 3, your PlayStation 3 won't go online. It will just play whatever you have, disc that you have. And you're kind of like playing by yourself. You're playing CPU. We live in a time where everybody wants to be online playing the latest thing, or at least if it's not the latest thing, it still has an online community to it. Even if it's an old game, it has an online community. So and this is just, I'm still with you, Blurred. I just want to paint this other scenario for you, just kind of like other side of what you just said. I'm just stay with me. Right now, I can't play those PlayStation 3 games that my brother had. I could keep them just for memory purposes because they were his and it's something that belonged to him, but he's dead and gone. I'm keeping the PlayStation 4 as a system, the unit, but those PlayStation 3 games, I'm not going to play those games. My kids don't want to play them. They're old games. They don't connect to online. They don't have an online community because at the time that those games came out, the ones that he has, they were just kind of single player games. So what can I'm a person right now who my only option is to trade them into GameStop and put them towards my PS5 when the time comes, because that's what I plan on doing here in tax season. Gather up he got like 30 of them, like 25 or 30 of these little cartridges. They're just sitting in a box. I'm going to take them to GameStop, see what I can get for them. And I'm going to trade in my old PlayStation console that I had because it's just collecting dust. And I'll keep his and put it in a closet somewhere because I'm going to have a PS5. And what I'm saying is, outside of GameStop, I can't do anything with these old physical copies of these games other than give them away, break them in half, or just play them for old time's sake, which means they're going to sit somewhere and collect dust. So it's kind of no different than buying a digital game. That company goes out of business. Now you lose access to this game because we went out of business. We got lost. So whatever you just said, you're kind of, if you spent the $50 on the disc or the $50 on the digital and the company goes out of business, yeah, you still have a physical copy of said game, but you're going to play it by yourself and you're not going to have the same online community because they shut it all down.
Yes.
Because if they're shutting down the online community as well as they're shutting all things associated with that game down because that person you just said is suing them. I'm just saying the scenario is the same even with a physical copy. That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to say it's not exactly one-to-one the same, and this is why. Because of the reseller market. Now, of course, Super Nintendo has a ridiculous reseller market, collector market. Let's just say now, PlayStation 3 games, you do have a point. Some of those games didn't need as much connectivity. Most PlayStation 3 games, you have it, you can play it, and it didn't give you a lot of 1,000 uploads. So maybe there is a collector out there that can buy it. In fact, I'm telling you, I wouldn't give GameStop nothing. I would go find a collector of PlayStation 3 games and see what you can individually get, because GameStop is dirty. You probably can find.
But I could probably find that person online, and it'll be done through the mail. They don't exist here in Houston.
I mean, I would do that because if I would at least look into that, because that would probably give you at least double or triple the value of what GameStop is going to do.
But what I've looked into online, as far as like somebody that would do something like that, the process is a little bit of a headache.
Yes, it can.
So they
like the whole, I guess the whole eBay thing and all that.
And I'm saying maybe GameStop gives me $35 for all those games, and a real person gives me $60. Maybe, but that $60 is going to come with a lot of headache because this person this person or this entity that I'm dealing with that wants to do that. It's not going to be as simple. I'm kind of paying for convenience in a sense. It's like you go to a convenience store. You should probably
because
go to
they kind of become
store.
Their own retro game market, sort of.
So, or flea
markets possibly as well, but still.
But those places are not so prevalent. Like you can find a church or a liquor store on every corner in a McDonald's. You're not going to find a retro gaming store or a person that's in that market on every corner.
I'm shocked, Houston. That as big as the city is Houston, I'm shocked it's not bigger to have that. Like I know Cali got it. I'm sure
No,
New York got.
GameStop is all over you. That's it.
Oh,
GameStop is where you go to do your dealings.
they ain't got no
Anything outside of
retro.
that is they have one location, and they're last I saw them a year ago. I went in there just to see what they had. It's a retro gaming store. They're not doing business. They're not. They're struggling to keep people on payroll. People are like, you know what I'm saying? Like the job doesn't pay very well hourly.
I
Like
will say
it's one
this,
thing. It's one thing to have a retro store. Can you afford to pay the
but
salary of a person
don't
coming there every day?
Houston and Texas in general. I know Texas have a lot of like retro cons. Now I know what you're saying. For you, your time is more valuable than getting that double or triple
Yeah, like it's not
benefit.
that serious. It's not
Yeah,
that serious to me to say maybe I may if because the games are they're
but
PlayStation 3 games.
I will
They're
say that
already not worth nothing.
there are people, a smaller, more niche people, who that's become like their side hustle. Where they be like, hey, open mind, give me that to you. I'll actually throw you. Let's say instead of going to GameStop, I'll give you 50 so I could flip this because I might know some market. I might have an in to a market that can do that.
I mean, I'm all
So,
for it. I'm not against it, but I'm not
but I
ready
know
to
for
do the
you,
transaction right
Yeah,
now.
it's like
yeah,
finding those people and stuff.
But
So yeah, maybe
yeah, but it's not something. It's not a journey I'm going to go on because I'm not even ready to purchase my PS5.
so
Anytime, anytime I purchase a new console, I always trade in the previous console in some games to put towards that. I've never paid full price for any console. My
so
PlayStation 4, I didn't pay $400 for it. I paid $250 because I traded in the PS3 and some games at the time. Then the PlayStation 3, I traded in my PS2 and some games. I'm gonna do the same with the PS5. When I
I'm
got the money to spare, I'm trading in the PS4, my old clunky one. I'll keep my brother's PS4 and play on his, and then they're gonna give me like $75 for the PS4 and whatever they're gonna give me for those games. Take that off that price, and I'll pay the rest.
for
That's how
me,
I do it.
I'm not going to like. For me, I just know that unless out of pure spite, right now,
I mean, yeah, you guys
I,
fight. I don't really care. I
I
just
for
want the
me,
PS5.
I'm just not going to give any more to GameStop because I now that I've been and like new and to be 100%, I follow a lot of retro gaming channels. It's like a hobby of mine, and I see how they do the market also because I learn from them because I am a seller, I am a vendor, so it's like I'm picking mine. So I know, yes, for me, I have to kind of be into it because I might have to pivot into things that are related to comics, gaming, or whatever, anime at any manga at any time. So I got to be vendor fluid, if you will, to go either which way. So yes, I understand completely what Open Mind saying. I know for me, I look at GameStop and I just want to kind of no diss to nobody's job, but as a company, I kind of want to punch them in the gut because
I
now
mean,
that
but now
they have the
that
monopoly though.
with what Open Mind is saying, plus what I said, that might be their only route after this. Because
That's what I'm saying. Like,
they might actually kind of rise like a phoenix from the ashes because it's like, hey, guess what? Guess who's the only one with physical media, y'all? And guess who's the only kind of connected market of retro games? Like,
but what is
and I mean,
GameStop
I
gonna
don't
do
I
with
don't
all
work
these?
at GameStop, but I'm assuming if you go to GameStop and say, hey, I'm looking for Super Mario 3 and you don't have it in their store. And I'm sure they can look and be like, oh, no problem. We have a store in Ohio that has it. They can overnight it here and it'll cost you this. And they can become that kind of interconnected.
my
Maybe. I don't know. I
this
have no idea.
so
But they will be sitting around with a whole bunch of retro gear and the only ones probably with physical media. They may be able to float with that.
my
So
question,
what is
I guess.
GameStop gonna do with all this physical media in the event that they go out of business? They still got physical stuff.
Oh,
People
they're
It's going
gonna
to
trade
be
it
a
in.
fire sale.
it's gonna be a fire sale. Like it's easy. They're gonna
And that's when I'll show up.
because basically this is one or two things. At that before, like what Mike said about like if it wanted to be a retro, they have the space, logistics, and they can literally like, hey, divvy up the money. But what I'm gonna assume strongly, the people who own it, not gonna want to do the retro thing they're gonna fire sell that thing, and they're gonna bomb it, and they're gonna sell it, and they're gonna hack it down like Toys R Us, and then maybe it'll re-rise smallly as a very small company out of the ashes. Like Toys R Us,
that's crazy.
It'll be like the Spencers of gaming or something like that.
Toys R Us and Kmart
have come back. Toys R Us have has re-risen. You can find it in a couple of malls, in a couple of.
Yeah, they're in Macy's. They did a deal with Macy's, so
they now in Macy's they have become their own thing again.
They have their standalone stores.
You can Google it. You can look at it on YouTube. I think there's one in Houston. There's might be one in Houston. There's one in New Jersey. It has risen from its grave, like Alter Beast. It has rised from its grave. But
we need to make another Alter Beast, by the way.
Oh,
they will. They're making one with the new Sega stuff.
Do it, Sega.
At least I assume.
That's right. They show weird. We saw the trailer. It was a Flash trailer. I forgot. We did the whole podcast on it.
The most logical thing is that those shareholders not gonna care to become. They're not gonna ever care like your weird, crazy retro gamers who would love to have more access and be able to have a more mainstream thing, and I have to go to cons and flea markets to be able to go and do what they're doing now. But I don't believe in the owner of Chewy, if he's still the owner of Gamestop, because he bought it, to want to do that, because that would be kind of counterproductive or not cost efficient, because he would still have to go buy new inventory, because basically the inventory that GameStop has isn't the vaulted stuff that collectors want right now.
Because GameStop just try to keep up with just what's current. They don't try to collect retro stuff really.
And it don't have value. Like it has value for me to be able to say, can I flip it to somebody? But is it rising in access, whatever? And then basically the companies themselves, Xbox and PlayStation, are going to cut that away from us and say go digital. That means that stock is going to become obsolete, and it will not. It might go up in value for a while, but it ain't going to be like Nintendo and all that stuff. They're going to kill that market.
Here's the thing, though, Bert. I don't shop at GameStop for games. I only shop at GameStop for consoles. Once I get my console, I download my game. I'm a digital person.
So they gonna have to float on console sales.
So even I know, like you saying, even my trade-in and stuff, the only time I go to GameStop to trade something in is when I'm about to buy another console. And I'll gather up the games that I'm not playing on disc, because I can't trade in digital stuff. And I'll give them the old console. They'll give me what they're going to give me for it. I'll put that towards the difference and pay the rest out of my pocket. Once I do that, GameStop don't see me again until the next console come out. I don't go in there.
And that's why they gonna probably go
I drive past that. I drive past the places. I see them. I'll be at the stoplight. I see the GameStop. And if I go in there, I'm going in to ask them a question. Yo, when does the next such and such come out? Because I don't know. They have a little list on the front counter, with a list of games. Outside of that, I'm not in there shopping for nothing. I don't want nothing out of GameStop.
So take you and multiply you by 2 million. Let's say there's more 2 million like you. It's gonna be hard for GameStop, y'all. You just.
And that's what I said. So I just wanted to set the record straight. I know you was trying to talk me out of it, but I was like, let me help him out. Real talk. I don't just go in there and trade games in regularly. No, I am a digital person. Remember, I said that I'm a digital guy. I download my stuff, and I only download the games I know I'm gonna play repetitively. If it's a game that like Prince of Persia, for example, I'm playing Prince of Persia, but I ain't pay for it. But I'm playing it.
I'm gonna just tell you y'all like this. This kind of my last thoughts. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what Keith Cooper is doing.
Matter of fact, final thoughts.
My bad.
Final thoughts, and tell them where they can find you.
In this scenario, this is not the Sega scenario. This is Microsoft about to make their stock go up even more. I am thankful I have Microsoft stock. I am very sorry everybody lost their job. Go ahead and buy you some Microsoft stock. I'm not lying to you. I remember when a dude told me, GameStop stock is more important than Microsoft stock. No, it is not. No, it is not. They are controlling the market of their free will. They are setting the market. They not responding to the market. That is y'all listen to what I just said. They are setting the market. they are not responding to it. They're not behind. They are ahead of the curve. If you want to invest and you want to invest in gaming, Microsoft is one of them stocks you should have. Just real talk. Like, cause one is only a few cornerstones of it. I think the big loser of this will be GameStop in the next 5 to 10 range. I think we are the losers because I hate losing that ability to sell. But I think, as all things, we're going to adjust to it, just like how we adjust to smartphones, how we adjust to that, and we're going to, the bigger question, I guess, the philosophy: will people stop buying games because it's just digital? The answer is probably no, because it's more accessible.
People still going to game.
You have computers, you have more things that can just click a button, just like Mr. Open Mind here said it, and you're going to have it in seconds. I am not a PC gamer. I have become a digital buyer for about 80% of my games. In fact, I'm going to go say 90%, because I play weird, crazy indie games where you can't get but only in the digital market. And it's so right. Like, I watch YouTubers who be like, oh, here's this game. It might be like, I don't know, Stickman 2000. And he hit the ball. It's like, it's on sale for $2. You know what? I want to play Stickman. Boom. And in fact, I would keep it real with you. I bought a game called You Suck at Parking. It looks like a little Hot Wheel that you run around on a crazy Hot Wheels track, and you fall off the island, and the goal is to jump into parking. It's fun. It's maddeningly sickening hard, but it's fun.
Yeah, it looks like a cool party game.
It's a cool party game. So they got me, y'all. I'm the person who's telling you I ain't want to be that, and I became that. The capitalistic society got me. I have already adapted as an old man. So if they got me, yeah, they gonna get, the people who never saw who never had to blow in a Nintendo cartridge. So that's my final thoughts. That this sucks. I feel sorry for the families. I feel sorry for the people. But it has come in we just learned about this in October. Now look what's happening in January. Cat Williams energy, y'all. I'm telling you. Cat Williams. I knew I was gonna wrap it all around in some type of way. The truth is out there.
Hey man, listen.
All right, man. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Blurred.ish. Got a sale going on right now. You might not hear this soon, but we got sales each month at www.blerd-ish.com. Follow all of our wonderful podcasts, our Twitch gaming. We do a lot of anime reviews with Mike and Gamma Ray, and when Sherry Ninja Sama drop in, we do all the type of stuff, and we're kind of opening up to guests again. Like I said, the dude from Corrupt, the Predator Corrupt, holler at me. I'm happy to have you on the show. You can do as small as 20 minutes. Because heaven forbid we go over 20 minutes because somebody be ready to fight you. But or you can take an hour, So, hey, that's what I'm about. And I'm also sell I sell comics, I sell books, but I also sell games via my Play Asia account as well too. So, there you have it.
All right, Open Mind. Final thoughts. Where can they find you?
Final thoughts. Heart goes out to the Xbox people, players, the gamers, the workers. I know how that feels. To just be out of work and don't really know where your next move gonna be. Happen suddenly. So I think they'll bounce back. I think it's time they make a killer instinct for PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Go and get out the way. We need some of these exclusive Xbox games on PlayStation and other consoles. You can find me Open Mind, spell it with a Y, on Twitter X, Open Mind 82 on YouTube. Follow my fantasy sports page to recap hyperpicks that's spelled with 2 P's. Recap hyperpicks on TikTok. Page is growing. We doing fantasy sports over there. We only discuss fantasy sports. We don't talk about nothing else but that, because that's easier for us. We don't have to worry about hurting people's feelings because we just discussing it's sports gambling. So there's no hot takes. You know what I'm saying? It's all stats and sports and stats and matchups, and that's it. And me and my brother, we have a ball doing that. Other than that, man, that's it. I don't have a dog in this race. I'm a PlayStation player myself. I got a PlayStation. I've been on PlayStation since 1. I've owned an Xbox, but even when I had an Xbox, I played on PlayStation more than my Xbox. So
He's proving us right. He's proving it
Yeah,
right.
there was a time where I owned both consoles, going back to Xbox 360 and Xbox One. Like I've owned both consoles simultaneously at one point, and I still played my PlayStation more. I only played Halo on Xbox, Halo and Killer Instinct. Everything else that was on Xbox was on PlayStation, and I rather played the PlayStation version of it because of the way the controller felt. The PlayStation controller felt more comfortable to me to play certain games. But then there are certain games that are exclusive to Xbox that you just can't play anywhere. So that's Halo and Killer Instinct. So I like fighting games. So that was the fighting game that I played on Xbox. Killer Instinct. TJ Combo was my main. Other than that, it was Halo. Outside of that, there's no other game on Xbox that I couldn't play on PlayStation. So that's. I don't have a dog in this race, so I don't want to sound dismissive. I just hope they get it together. I'm looking forward to playing the beta for Coreupt next month, and whether we missed something in that next month thing. Next month is like in a couple of days, so like 5 days we're in next month. So the beta's around the corner, so let's get it, man. That's it, your boy. Thank y'all for having me on. It was last minute. Nerd hit me up at the last minute. I wasn't ready completely, but I learned something tonight on the show with y'all listening, y'all educating me on this, because I really didn't have a lot of information behind this stuff.
I mean, I'm kind of just speculating and tying in and kind of using what you would with a company that's all about making money do. So I could be completely wrong, but Microsoft loves subscriptions. They love having a big cash saved, and big companies and big tech cut people. I think the rumors are true. We ain't gonna be getting no more Xbox consoles after and I think they gonna do us dirty, not say nothing for 2 years, and then be like, oh, it's gone. No, we ain't making more Xbox. You can only get it on Game Pass because they want to sell all they stock.
Man. All right, well, I guess maybe not a final thought, but this is something that I guess maybe it might connect. We were talking about the excessive spending, or what seemed to be the excessive spending in the gaming industry. And then we have stuff like this going on where, like they say, Xbox didn't, or Microsoft didn't even want to drop a new hardware console this time, but they dropped it anyway due to backlash. So you take that, these layoffs, them talking about the games costing too much, they got to make too much to try to get their money back. Man, it is not looking. Look, somebody with the calculators got to get it together. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, they got it together. They ahead of the curve. They got it together.
They're like, we do got it together. That's why we laid people off. It's like, man, look, my heart goes out to them, because look, as I can't imagine,
and not sell it in big
people
stores
just gone. So, man,
look how fast it happened. Look how fast they just made the announcement they weren't gonna have Xbox in these stores. Look how fast it happened.
Bruh, Walmart said they were going to phase out. And it was like, no, y'all meant tomorrow.
They're like, after Christmas, it's done. The day after Christmas. Out of here.
Man. That's crazy, man. That's scary.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, with that said, of course, y'all guys stay up. Of course, like we said, our hearts go out to those that lost it. I hope y'all got something cooking already, or maybe y'all already got something going. Maybe y'all knew before we did or something like that, but hopefully y'all got some irons in the fire or something, because, man, look, right now, after the holidays, is not the time to be low on cash. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody that got laid off at Xbox, holla at Team Coreupt. They could definitely use y'all, and y'all could probably come together like butt cheeks and make a console and make a console for black folks. Like, why not? I mean,
go and do that, man. Go and do something.
Hey, listen. I ain't saying Coreupt got a lot of money to pay y'all, but hey, reach out to Team Coreupt. See if they need, you just lost your job. You know what I'm saying? It's Friday. You ain't got no job, and you ain't got anything to do. You know what I'm saying? So go on and reach out to Team Coreupt and say, hey, man, y'all hired? They might not be hired, but they might need you for, hey, why not?
the Fortnite cuts, the Epic Games cuts. She got to
Listen,
keep her
you're out
job.
of work. You ain't got no job right now at the moment. We saw the article. Xbox laid you off. Reach out to Team Coreupt, give them some assets
Yeah.
and help. You know what I'm saying? They might. That's a black owned company over there. You know what I'm saying? I want a black video game console. I want it to be black.
Blackity black.
I want the console to be black, and I want the people that made it to be black.
All the
want it to
controllers
be-
will
I
be
want
black.
the controllers
The
to be
buttons
black.
will be black.
I want the buttons to be black. I want everything black on it, and I want somebody that's black.
That console piano black like Sega back in the day.
Yeah,
The black buttons with a little
right.
bit of light
and
on
I
it.
want that console to host every video game that comes out. So if a game dropping, they're gonna make a version of that game for that black console. And everybody gonna have the hood gonna have a console because it's
And
black
guess
on,
what? The characters
yeah.
are gonna have more than just the shaved head with the cut to the side. All right? They're gonna have more than the Killmonger. All right,
I'm
y'all
sorry,
did it.
Rick.
Y'all did it to Miles. Y'all did it to Aqualad. Y'all did it to the dude Prince of Persia. Y'all did it to Eddie. Y'all look. Everybody. There was like, look, if you young and black, you getting that
They
Killmonger
did it
cut.
to the dude from Valorant.
Yep. They like, look,
I
man.
was saying, make a black console, bro.
Miles
Make a black
didn't need
video
it,
game
bro.
console.
Miles didn't need the little. Didn't need the Killmonger, bro. He didn't need
Yo,
it.
man,
I ain't-
when he took that mask off, I was like, bruh, all right.
How?
I was like, look, y'all go, this is going too far.
How his mask gonna be an even round, but his head, like
Yo,
Y'all not
man,
thinking.
like he gotta keep this low Caesar cause the hood. I mean, cause the mask, man. Look, NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. Look, I'm gonna say this. The best Marvel writers last year were working at Insomniac Games. They just messed up the cut. So we just gonna let that ride. But until next time, from us to you, we're just saying peace.
These
man. Keep your head up out there.